everybody. Welcome to Ramble, the wrestling show here on Hyper RPG. We got a loose kaiju just walking around. So if you hear some barks,
he's hyped about Survivor Series.
He's hyped.
So am I, actually.
Yeah,
best build up in a long time.
Actually, the past couple of weeks of TV, despite my criticisms from 3 weeks ago, where I really don't care about Raw or SmackDown truly being in a competition. The competition to me would be if it was NXT or the Bullet Club. Mm-hmm. That would actually be like a real Survivor Series. Yep. Because we were talking about this. We just watched the end of SmackDown. And this whole idea that like the faces and heels on that show are willing to throw it out for brand supremacy. Yeah. Even though these characters appear on the both shows constantly. John Cena was just like all these kinds of things. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. But as far as like other storytelling, it's been pretty good. I think we're mostly going to be talking about Raw and SmackDown leading into Survivor Series. There wasn't much in the indie news circuit this last week.
Yeah, not too much. I haven't noticed anything in particular on Squared Circle or anything. But yeah, we are going to be doing predictions today. Mm-hmm. And I'm writing actually down also the TakeOver card because we're going to be doing TakeOver.
Yes.
So two.
I didn't know
that. Yeah, baby.
On the spot.
It's going to be fun.
Oh. Well, and so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to be telling you guys, we have a fantasy league that's been set up in our Discord. So make sure you go to Wrestling in our Discord, jump in that fantasy league, and play along with us. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to try to put a link down in the description, so hopefully it'll be there. I'll make sure Adam knows that when this goes up.
Yeah, baby.
So I guess actually the first debatably news, whether it's a swerve or not, that we could talk about. This happened this morning before we came in. James Ellsworth supposedly released.
Okay.
WWE released a statement. He got future endeavored. Yeah. Carmella said something. He said something.
It's all official on the website, so we don't know if it's a work or not.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know if it's a work.
What are you guys leaning towards?
I think it's legit.
I think it's legit too.
Yeah.
I don't understand how the work would be a work.
I don't know. It could be a work. Zach, this just went out. Oh, I think.
Hey.
There we go. We're good.
We have energy.
We're good. Everything else is working. Zach unplugged something and suddenly our monitor went out. We're all good though. Timing. So James Ellsworth, it could be a work, could not be a work, but he did in the European tour. Did you guys see this video of all the women doing finishers on him?
I want to see this.
Okay, let me find this.
Yes, we must.
So what's the rumor? He's being released because he's got other wrestling opportunities?
No, I mean I think they would just be done with him if they were. Okay. Yeah, they're finished using him. Maybe if they're going to use Carmella for something else, then that could be what it is. Oh, our monitor went out again.
It makes me. Oh my gosh! It does make me think though that Carmella is going to cash in at Survivor.
Right, because then that would mean that they're going in a certain direction with Carmella, and so they wouldn't have the use for James Ellsworth. Maybe they got a lot of complaints about the whole dog suit. Maybe they watched maybe they watched last week's Ready to Ramble and they agreed with Cameron.
Cameron used all his 100 email accounts to make a complaint.
I had to make it known.
Yes.
People had to know.
We got war games.
Yeah, I'm finding this. So we'll see if it's a work or not. There is the I think people are not 100% sure because. Again, James Ellsworth as a character with Carmella, is the cashing going to happen? There's some people wondering if this is going to be a case where he's been let go, they're making a big show of it, and then at the Women's Championship match, he's going to jump in from the crowd so you can have like, James Ellsworth, but he was let go. He doesn't work here anymore. And then help Carmella with the cash-in, because God forbid Carmella actually just cash in and win something without James Ellsworth.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, if he left his Twitter on this computer.
Ooh, let's tweet some stuff.
Wow.
And he was looking at Marcella's Twitter.
Oh boy,
Marcelo,
we'll do that.
Marcelo
we'll do
got
that.
very
We'll do
funny.
it at the end of the show. We'll do it at the end of the show. But we're gonna do that for sure.
Oh yeah, because that's right. Because Iffy will also be. I'll get the predictions from Iffy, and so I think what we're gonna do is next week the 3 people who did not, and we'll get an iPhone video from Iffy of him doing this if we need to, eating a pepper and talking about your favorite part of the pay-per-view.
I can't wait.
So I'm very excited about this.
Do we have like a specific pepper?
I'm gonna get some spicy peppers.
It looks like you know spicy.
I know spicy. I love spicy. Emma loves spicy as well. But there are some things out there that are a little too spicy. So it should be fun. All right, and then I will also be doing. We're going to be doing a giveaway next week as well. I'm going to be. We'll compile a nice little art package from Mr. Andy Campbell. We have all kinds of Street Fighter art that we want to give away, so we will be doing that for the winner of the consecutive. We'll whatever the pay-per-views were. I think we had some people that had 5 or 6 matches correct last time predictions.
I believe so.
So we'll combine that, and then every quarter we'll be doing a giveaway. So it is the end of a quarter, and we will do that.
So it's basically just who gets the most predictions. There's no like
punishment for us, reward for them. That's how it works.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is the video.
Okay. We're watching.
Dope.
So he goes in the ring.
Okay.
And it's just basically every woman in the company doing stuff to him.
That's so great.
Yeah, so he pops in the ring. So here we go with
That's
this. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Carmella gives him a stunner.
Stop. It's so good already. And he's like...
He does the Ric Flair flop.
Oh my gosh, that's
great. That's pretty good. I like Lana. Nice.
The spit. He did the Shane McMahon spit.
What I love about the stunner specifically is that there's this big thing at NXT that I heard from Rusev. I think I might have mentioned it before as well. But what they'll do is play Stone Cold's music and then just start stunning. Everybody will just start stunning each other. So that's why it's such a big deal. Yeah, so that's why the women all know how to do a perfect stunner.
Cool. Yeah,
and that's why Rusev took the stunner from Stone Cold that Mania.
So apparently that's what happened through a lot of the European tour was the women doing different finishers and stunners to James Ellsworth. That was all stunners, but I saw another video too where it was like a bunch of different, like I think Charlotte did a rock bottom on him or something like that. So there was all kinds of craziness. But yeah, so we'll see whether James Ellsworth got the Emma treatment, which is like, we're going to make you look really good the last 2 weeks you're here. And then you're out of here.
Yeah,
or if he is going to pop through the crowd at Survivor Series. So we'll see about that. But that was news that broke today as far as that goes. And then, I guess we'll just talk about what happened on SmackDown and Raw. So we have the return of Roman Reigns in the Shield. And again, Roman being in the Shield is the biggest pops, and the crowds are on his side again.
Yep.
Like him.
He's cool now.
Him on the mic against Stephanie McMahon. The crowd was cheering him as opposed to booing. Like all the little cheer lines.
It was definitely strange. For me, it just felt like a flashback, and suddenly I'm like, did WWE run out of ideas? Because we loved the Shield so much. They're like, let's just put them back together. And then they're not even wearing vests, they're just wearing t-shirts. It just felt really...
Yeah.
The half and half shirt.
The pop was amazing. So, I mean, they kind of did it right, but I am kind of like, all right,
huge pop. But I gotta say, I'm sticking with what I talked about last week with Stephanie McMahon. And I like Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
I don't mind that character, but they got to get better on the writing because all she did was run down Kurt Angle for 4 minutes. And this is the thing too, is like you can't say that like, well, Vince did the same thing. He would run people down and blah, blah, blah. The end result though on an episode would then be like Vince gets a stunner, Vince gets super kicked, The Undertaker puts him through a table or gives him a tombstone. So like if you see Vince like flip off The Undertaker, Undertaker turns around, sees it, and then does something to Vince. Like that was always the thing. The whole reason you are the evil boss character is because then something bad happens to you and the crowd can cheer. 2 years in a row now with Mick Foley going into Survivor Series and now Kurt Angle going into Survivor Series. It is 4.5 minutes of Stephanie McMahon running these characters down and them just going,
Yep.
What do you want to see happen to her, though?
Well, but that's the thing about the writing. That's why I'm saying they need to come up with a solution, because it's not that Kurt Angle needs to put her in an ankle lock. I'm not saying that the men beat her up, but then they can verbally say something to her. There can be a verbal back and forth.
Because all she does is just browbeating stuff.
It's browbeating, and it's the same thing now every year. It's literally the same thing. It is what she did to McFoley. It's what she did to Seth Rollins when he was the architect. All it is Stephanie McMahon. And it feels like, and here's the other thing, too, is because she does have say in the company.
Yeah.
It does, and Vince is her dad, it does feel like a weird thing of like, I want to look like a tough boss for 5 minutes. Okay, and then what's the comeuppance? Because that's how storytelling works. Nothing.
Yeah. Has Triple H been? I'm trying to think of any positions. Has he gotten his comeuppance before?
I mean, he's at least in matches. Like that's the other thing too. Is like then what I talked about last week. Stephanie's first match in like 10 years was against Brie Bella that she won.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's so weird. It would literally be like similarly. It would be like if Vince McMahon verbally ran down The Undertaker, Stone Cold, and The Rock. They did nothing, and then he had matches with them and won. And you'd be like, what's the story here? Because she's also supposed to be a heel. We're not cheering for her. It's not that Kurt Angle is a heel GM that we're supposed to be like, yeah, Stephanie, you're speaking for the audience. She's supposed to be like, that's why she comes out there and makes fun of the audience. She does. Like every time she's out there and the audience cheers for Roman Reigns or anybody like that, she's like, oh, here we go, audience, make up your mind. And I'm like, storytelling would dictate something bad is going to happen to the asshole boss character.
Right,
but they never do. All they do is like she gets either speared or put through a table at WrestleMania and then disappears for 7 months.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's not a story. And at the end of the day, wrestling is a storytelling narrative.
Right.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it elevates her to show how strong and scary and threatening she is, and that's probably why they're leaving it that way. Unless they grouped a bunch of superstars together to go up against her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, that was sort of the thing about Survivor Series 2-3 years ago. Was like it was getting rid of the authority. It was John Cena and Ziggler had to beat the authority team, and they got rid of the authority. So that did feel like
that was so fun because I remember when he had to reinstate the authority, John Cena. That was really fun.
Yeah,
that was a good storyline.
But I think that was the thing is like that felt like it's a comeuppance for these two people who've been running the company terribly, and in the storyline terribly, who've been running the company terribly, and they're gone now, and we've done it. And then they came back, and then the last 2 years has been like Steph runs Raw, and she's just mean, and nothing happens to her. And she's the villain. She's basically supposed to be Mr. Burns, but you want Mr. Burns to get their comeuppance in some manner, and not just be like, I fell through. And again, it's not that the Undertaker needs the choke slammer. I'm not saying that needs to happen, but
I want to see
But
that.
now we do have like a very heavy women's division. Like I don't know. I feel, and at the end of the day, like you're the storytellers, WWE. Tell me what the story's supposed to be. Where are we supposed to be going with the evil Stephanie McMahon? Because if she was a face, it's a different story again.
the McMahon clan.
Yeah.
I guess.
So we have that. Roman Reigns comes down and goes, "Where have you been?" And the crowd cheered. He defended Kurt Angle. Because that's the other thing, too, is like Kurt Angle could defend himself. Roman Reigns is verbally saying something. Kurt Angle can go like, I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Do you know who you're talking to? Blah, 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 blah. But because the hierarchy of the character is supposed to be like Stephanie hired him, he's then like meek. And I'm like, I don't like Kurt Angle being portrayed this way at all. This feels very bad. So then we go, and then pretty much it was all just a build-up. Braun Strowman said he wanted Kane, and he got Kane. He put Kane through the ring, kind of.
Yeah, right.
Very cushioned, very cushioned through the ring spots, which was fine. Despite the fact that Samoa Joe and Finn Balor not getting along in a story was why Kurt Angle picked them. He now was like, you two can't get along. I don't know if I can trust you. So now you two are going to be in a match. It was a very good match.
It was a good match.
Yeah,
short, though.
Short, very short, actually. I was surprised how short it was. Like,
But
there was a moment.
They sure united to beat up SmackDown, though.
Oh, yeah, they did. But yeah, it was very short. I was actually surprised how short it was, only because like when the match ended, Finn was so sweaty that I was like, did they jump ahead? Did they edit this? This long match made short? Like, he's covered. And this match was like 3 minutes long.
And Joe was like, peace out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that. I guess the big thing that happened on Raw was Jason Jordan's storyline with Triple H. So Jason Jordan was the fifth man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Jason Jordan was the fifth man, and Kurt Angle had to defend why he picked him. And then he had a match with Bray, who I guess is better, but no longer Sister Abigail.
Poor Bray, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Bray
I mean,
lost.
God.
And then if storyline is to be, you would think then the storyline would be Bray and Jordan at maybe Survivor Series, but since Jordan is quote unquote not fit to compete, so Bray just lost again. Oh God, poor Bray.
Yeah, Bray's like.
There's going to be a great article written about the misuse of Bray Wyatt.
Oh gosh.
Because you think about how hot he was during the Daniel Bryan era. When it was originally the Shield versus the Wyatt family.
Yep.
You go back and watch that year, you think like this guy's going to be the biggest deal in 2 or 3 years. He's the next Undertaker. And now he is jobber to the new stars.
Yep.
You just never know. It's so unpredictable with what they do with these superstars.
I know. Bray is like a character who you show him to anybody, like, because I remember specifically because I showed him to Andy, and Andy was like, it's his favorite guy. And he just is a big letdown. Same thing, my brother doesn't even watch wrestling, but he watched, he was like, I like this guy. And nope.
He's great on the mic. But that was another case, too. It was like he was great on the mic. And then they just let him do. This is a problem also with having a 3-hour show. He would just say things that were like, and that's the thing too. You can't go out and be like, "I am the eater of souls, the destroyer of worlds. You are doomed." I lose every match. Every match.
Everyone.
And they should have made him, I think, a better like. So okay, so we introduced a segment 2-3 weeks ago. How I would have booked it if you could change things up a little bit.
Okay.
Bray Wyatt. There should have been what they did with Daniel Bryan, where like Daniel had joined the Wyatt family. They should have had more people throughout join the family. It should have been like...
Yeah, because it should have been... Yeah, the Wyatt family should have just been...
It should have grown like the Undertaker's ministry. Slower than that, but the Undertaker's ministry... Like, when the Wyatt family took out both Undertaker and Kane back in like Hell in a Cell, I think 2 years ago, and it was like, oh my God, what happened to the Undertaker and Kane? Like... And then Undertaker and Kane came back like 2 weeks later, like nothing had happened. Yeah. And you're kind of like, well, where did you take him? What happened?
Like, and like remember when he hypnotized Xavier?
Yeah, and so it's like there's that thing of like,
like
what I would have done with Bray is I would have been like the Wyatt family slowly grew over time, right? And it's not just like, and they added Braun, which is great, but I think like. They should have added like a surprise, like a superstar, where you're like, oh my God, like they're in the Wyatt family.
They
now.
should have added like a female wrestler.
Yes, there should have been an actual Sister Abigail.
Yeah,
and some people might go like, well, they did that. They did that with Randy Orton. Well, at that time, the Wyatt family had it wasn't as hot as it was. B, half of them weren't there anymore. It just
didn't work though. Orton and the Wyatt family.
Well, also Orton was way too established, and he's been in it too long. Like you would want somebody who's maybe been there a year longer than Wyatt. Like, or if it was like a Finn Balor came up, and then
Finn Balor would have been good.
You know, that kind of a thing. But like instead, it was just like the same 3 guys. The other 2 kept getting injured constantly. Then they split them up with the brand. And they gave Bray the championship, and it was like, oh, they're finally getting behind him.
Bludgeon Brothers.
They should have had like all the big guys be part of the Wyatt family. Could you imagine?
Oh my God, such a bummer. Such potential, but what are you gonna do? So then he attacked. Yeah, he attacked Jason Jordan afterwards, and Jordan was he couldn't do it, and then he cried to Kurt Angle.
He cried.
He's like, you gotta give me.
It was good acting.
It was
question mark.
It was good acting.
It was good enough wrestling acting. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I will say though, man, that's going to be hard to come back from. It is not that you can't cry in wrestling. Ric Flair has done it. Many great wrestlers, but that's usually because they've won. They've done it. The underdog
story. It looks
like
a little biche. Like he just looks
fine.
like it looks like such a.
But they're turning him heel,
wiener.
right? They have to. They have to.
A wiener.
Yeah, he's got to backstab his daddy.
He's got to backstab his dad.
Yeah.
You cannot. They cannot send a guy out there to cry to his pretend dad. And be like, you gotta give me a shot, and not have him turn heel. There's no way the crowd is gonna pop for him as a face at this point.
He should like bring out the mom, you know, like I got mama.
So sad because he was so cool. He was so cool.
Really?
He was pretty cool, man. With Gable, he was awesome.
Okay, well.
And like,
but as a tag team, yeah, they are another story of what could have happened if they weren't called up. What could have been if they were not called up from NXT. Because that team that should have been the hottest tag team in SmackDown for a whole year. They should have been like the unbeatable team.
Yeah.
But none of that happened, and we'll get to Gable in his match on SmackDown. So then Stephanie comes out and she's like, "Announce it, Kurt! Announce it, or I will." And then she walked to the back, meaning I guess she wasn't gonna.
Good point. I didn't realize that. Good observation.
I don't know. Do this thing, or I'm gonna.
Peace.
Maybe her way of doing it was knowing that Triple H was going to come out. That was her announcement.
So Triple H comes out, great beard. real good long beard. He grabs the microphone and goes, "The fifth man is me."
I love it.
And then pedigrees Jordan.
Babyface asked Triple H.
Yeah, real babyface Triple H.
Everyone was like, "Yeah, thank you for kicking Jordan's ass."
It is thank you for kicking Jordan's ass, but this again goes to what we were talking about the realism of wrestling. Is that why is John Cena on Team SmackDown? Because he's supposed to be this free agent who can go from place to place. And why is Triple H the COO on Team Raw? Why does he have a Raw allegiance? What does he care? If you wanted to blow it out of the water, really, they should have been the fifth man is The Rock. The SmackDown is his show.
It would just be completely so unfair if The Rock was on that team.
Well, then have The Rock, and then have the fifth man. If it's not Triple H, have the fifth man be like. I don't know, like that, because they're constantly talking about maybe the Undertaker will come back. Maybe the Undertaker will.
Well, are we actually going to get the brother-in-law feud that we've wanted before? I mean, it's a little too late, but the Triple H versus Shane.
I don't know, because they haven't built it. It's pretty much Kurt Angle versus Shane at this point.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder. I do wonder if we're going to find out like there was supposed to be another fifth man. And then something happened, and then they put in the Jordan and the Triple H thing real quick. I think originally it was supposed to be Reigns.
Yeah,
because I think they wanted to have that.
Maybe.
They wanted to have the Shield match at TLC, and then Reigns got sick. Kurt Angle came in, so they felt like they didn't get the Shield pay-per-view match they wanted.
Right.
And so and then the two guys lost the belts. So it seems like I think that was originally the rumor was that it was supposed to be Reigns.
Right.
And then they were like, well, we kind of didn't get the Shield thing we wanted.
Don't worry, there'll
I
be
just want
plenty
to
of
know
those.
what's going on with Kevin and Sami though, because I feel that they are going to be a part of the show. Like I feel like because so far the storyline is they don't give a crap about the brand. They have no brand loyalty.
Yeah,
they're just and they're pissed off at Shane because they So I feel like they may come and interfere, but then that would mean that they would be going to Raw, and I don't know if they would actually put them on Raw, which would actually be awesome. But I don't know.
I can't see them interfering.
I feel like they might do something. Either they are legitimately in trouble.
Well, so I guess we can talk about that. Last week we said that they're sent home. We didn't know why. And we found out why, supposedly, was I guess 2 weeks ago during SmackDown when they were in the ring, the New Day was supposed to come in, and they were supposed to they had a match. It was Kofi and Sami. Kofi won, and then they were supposed to have a beatdown.
Right.
New Day was supposed to beat down Sami and Kevin. Rumor has it that they went into the term is going into business for yourself, where you go against the script. If you grab the microphone and say whatever you want, that kind of a thing. And Sami and Kevin just left the ring to not get beaten down. And I guess if you go look at the footage, New Day kind of looks like, what do we do?
Did you go back to look at it?
I haven't.
Okay.
Maybe we can see if we can. I'll see if we can pull that up. So, rumor is that then when they got to the back, Vince McMahon was uber pissed.
Yeah.
And
sent them home.
And pretty much sent them home right after that. So they both went home.
But I mean, it could. I wouldn't put it past them to work the audience just because Kevin is so old school in that mentality that he could even actually like he and Vince could be working in cahoots and just being like, okay, and then you send me home because I'm incorrigible. Because I could see that being the case.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about Kevin Owens is that he's like you never know. Like that's what I want to get. Wrestling fans want to get worked. So I'm actually glad because I'm getting worked a little bit.
I love Owens and I love Sami.
Yeah.
So this is near the end of that match. I'm kind of wondering if there's any editing that's they have done because WWE is known for editing their YouTubes a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see how confused the New Day looks by being like, well, these two are leaving. Because that was the other thing, too. People point out there's no music that hits.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Kofi won.
Yeah, there's no Kofi
and now
won.
They start pumping in the New Day music.
Yeah.
And then, Kevin Owens, listen, they feel entitled to lead Team SmackDown, but frankly, it's a New Day that have gone out and led by action.
Well, if it's true, props to them. That's what I gotta say.
Well, it is a way of protecting yourself and your character.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, which is kind of what we talked about before.
Can we see the comments on that and see if anybody at the bottom is saying anything? I just want to take a quick look. No, I want to because I figure other people would be looking at the match that got Owens suspended. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, people were speculating as well in the comments. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're not booked. They're not booked for Survivor Series.
They're not booked in Survivor Series at the moment. Of course, as always, there is a possibility of a pre-show match.
But at the pre-show, yeah, there is a possibility. But they're not pre-show. I don't think that they would be in pre-show. I think Kevin is too important, and I feel like they protect him. I feel like because if you look at so there was a moment at the beginning of SmackDown where Shane's out there in front of the locker room and he's just talking, ramping everybody up for Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. And then in the back, there's Kevin and Sami, and they're barely there. Like they're just like, what are we doing here? And it's just a small moment, and it seems like almost like it was put there on purpose. And it could be that they are gonna. There's got to be something that happens on Sunday.
Yeah, and I hope somewhere along the line they do have like a good solid tag team, like they're up for championships and not gonna wrestle with the Fashion Police or something like that.
Right.
I hope they go that route.
Is that done? Is that done now?
Fashion Police?
Yeah.
It's never over.
It's never.
It's forever.
I think a part of you kind of really.
I didn't see the Stranger.
Oh, I really like Fashion Police.
I really like them too, but
I do want to see them actually do something.
The Reservoir Dogs one was just. No.
So we can't leave Raw, honestly, without leaving with this, which was Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Oh. Another great. Paul Heyman's the man.
Oh, yes.
He was great, but there was a moment that made news because it seems like somebody in the audience proposed to their girlfriend, and she said yes. The crowd kind of hijacked the show, and Paul Heyman kind of took advantage of that. What I also like is watching Brock Lesnar kind of notice and break character and be laughing a lot and not like evil laughing, but like a genuine real dude. So let's check this out.
In my opinion, AJ Styles.
She said yes.
She said yes.
Oh, God.
It seems like he had to tell Heyman what it was.
Yeah.
They're chanting, she said yes. Somebody in the WWE Universe just proposed.
Hey, just so you know, she only said yes because she's never been up close to a beast like Brock.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Just so you know, interrupting my promo is like stepping into the ring with Brock Lesnar. You ain't got a chance.
So good. Amazing.
That's why he's the best. That's why they pay him the big bucks, boys.
Paul Heyman's the best. I love Paul Heyman.
He's amazing.
I could watch Paul Heyman's I've watched the documentary. If you have the network, there's a documentary. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, which is all about his life. I love that documentary, and I love the Rise and Fall of ECW. If you're into Paul Heyman, those two documentaries are so good.
On Netflix?
And you get his
on the network.
On the network,
and
okay.
you get the ponytail Heyman.
Oh, you get the baseball cap? Ponytail Heyman. What an era. What a time.
Of course, on the network.
So, yeah, that was Raw. And the big updates on the Survivor Series card at that point was Triple H. Triple H being added was the biggest update to the card, and Bayley being added to the women's group. And I thought that was actually a pretty good match. I thought Mickie James, Bayley, and Dana Brooke. And I don't mind Dana Brooke. I'm not saying she's like the most talented, but I like
really
her.
She's a hard worker.
But,
I like her too.
But her and Asuka seem to be going at it. And I will say, going into the Survivor Series, I have concerns. I have concerns. I have concerns Asuka's going to get eliminated as her first loss. And so then WWE will start saying like undefeated in singles competition.
Oh, dear, don't make that happen.
Because it'll be Dana Brooke schmazes up for Asuka.
Yeah.
And so, but Asuka, I will say, landed a kick on Dana Brooke in that match, and then goes crazy Asuka, and it is beautiful. Let me see if I can find this.
Oh, speaking of sorry, I just saw Alexa
No.
Bliss. I do want to talk later on about Total Divas. Did you watch the new episode?
Oh, we're going to talk about Total Divas. For sure.
I finally watched it.
Oh, good.
But I'm a little behind on the second episode.
Okay.
But it's okay. We can talk.
Awesome. Let's get this kick. Asuka.
Okay, so this just feels brutal, and Asuka's amazing, and I love evil Asuka.
Gigantic mistake, Dana Brooke.
Yeah, the Empress of Tomorrow has had it up, but she's chasing Dana Brooke. Matchup continues. Triple threat rules.
Take a nap, Dana.
Good night.
I love just her screaming in Japanese is my favorite thing.
Take a nap, Dana. Good night.
That reminds me of, do you remember? That's awesome. Do you remember that NXT documentary that was made? And I remember she had a match with Dana, and then Dana got injured. This was about a year and a half ago. And she was pissed off. Like she was like, she hit me hard. So this might be actually going back to that too, because Dana didn't know how to take the stiff hit from Asuka.
Let me see. It was that.
Yeah. It was an NXT documentary. Yeah, that was
Asuka debuts, full match. Dana Brooke plans.
Oh, that might have just been. Yeah, we'll have to find it because we can show it. Because it was actually Dana. It was like legit. Like Dana was talking to one of the trainers about it.
This might be it.
Check her. Open your eye for me.
Checking for concussion.
What did we? I knew this was gonna be rough, but I mean, how is she? Let's check her out. That eye does not look good. Dana. Check the other eye. Dana. She's not even responding.
Oh, this is when Asuka first debuted. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this was.
Oh, Dina.
That was really funny. Yeah, she patted her on the head because she used to pat everybody. Aw, rip Emma.
She'll be fine.
That's not it, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
Asuka's
that's the best.
So we can talk a little bit about SmackDown. I don't think there's much to talk about.
You got to talk about Charlotte.
Oh no, that is the thing to talk about.
Oh.
But like Baron Corbin, Sin Cara had their 18th match.
Yes.
Baron Corbin won.
18th match.
I like
Did not update the Miz card at all.
I thought it was so funny that at the beginning of the show, Shane was like, he's like, Kalisto and Kalisto and Baron, you guys have a match to determine who's gonna face, blah blah. And then he's like, how do you feel about that? And Baron Corbin's the one that answers because of course it's gonna be Baron. It's
Yeah.
like, oh god.
But yeah, the main thing I think, the two main things. Charlotte won
Thank
as we
goodness.
predicted.
Yes.
No Natty. Natty didn't. So Natty's not going in to Survivor Series as the champ. But actually, this was pointed out to me when I was watching a What Culture video, and I thought it was actually a decent point. They did not say that Natty is going to be in the women's match.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
They
is
did
Natty.
not say that. The hot rumor at the moment is that it's going to be Paige as a surprise entrance.
She was seen backstage, allegedly.
She was at Raw backstage with Renee Young on Instagram. So she's around. And that's the heavy rumor right now is that there's going to be 4 on 5, and it's going to be like, well, who's the 5th? They got to bring somebody. Blah, blah. And then you're just going to hear the...
Okay, not to be gossip queen, but are Paige?
Go for it.
Are they broken up? Paige
Well,
and Del
I
Rio?
believe so. Yeah.
Supposedly...
So
the
confused.
TJ.
TJ Perkins.
Yeah, TJ
Well, I sent that
Perkins.
to you guys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because I'm confused. Weren't they married too? Like
They were about to get married. So there was rumors that they were already married. But
Okay.
basically, so what happened was it was either over Snapchat or Instagram. Paige was with a friend of hers at a bar. Her friend was saying some stuff. We're talking about guys, blah, blah. And Paige just looked at the camera and started laughing and said, "This is why I'm single." And so that's how that kind of got out because there hasn't been much rumor about her and Del Rio, good or
that's
bad.
the case. She wanted it to be known.
But so that, and so that got out. So then TJ Perkins sent out a tweet that said, "Hey, I heard you're single now," with with that emoji that's kind of like that emoji face. Like
Talk about balls on him, though.
he did that on Twitter, which is public.
It's embarrassing.
Paige's response was basically, "Ew, get away from me and go back to hitting on underage girls."
Ooh,
Really
Chucky.
rough.
Real rough, especially that's rough anyway, especially in this climate currently.
Yep.
And
Don't make yourself a
And
target.
she should know how it feels, of all people, to be like, out in the public. For
Yeah,
things that
exactly.
She doesn't want known.
So it's kind of funny because it kind of didn't get picked up when went out and I sent it to these guys with Iffy.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh man, here's gonna be the thing where people are gonna be like, does he do this?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Nothing kind of came so far, but that was pretty. If you're a fan, that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's lucky because it's TJ Perkins versus like if it was Randy Orton. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although Randy
That's the
Orton and
thing.
Kevin Owens had their own feud on Twitter this weekend.
Kevin Owens
Please
rocks it
fill
on
me
Twitter.
in.
By
I
the
did
way.
not-
He's
Oh.
such a ham. It's hilarious. I don't know. I feel like it's an unspoken thing for wrestlers, but
Yeah.
rumors.
So,
Look at that picture. I like it.
so this was the story. Kevin Owens was at a wedding. Wow. Fight Owens Fights just stopped by my wedding dessert party in Epcot. Made this even better. Thank you. So this was just a fan. This was just some fan. Kevin Owens, it was great meeting you guys. Congrats and good luck. Randy Orton, of course he stopped by. It was a dessert party.
What the heck? I hate Randy Orton so much.
Owens responded simply, "You vape."
You babe, that's all he needs to say.
Orton then responded with, "I actually quit vaping this European tour, but you wouldn't know because you ain't here."
Oh my gosh.
Owens then responded, "I got so excited for a second. I thought you said you would quit the company. Congrats on quit vaping, though. That's great." Kevin Owens, by the way, that's the best comeback you've blown in years. Kevin Owens still. There's a lesson here, kids. Don't tweet in haste. You might come up with something better than what you originally settled for just minutes later, but the effect, it just won't be the same. Good night.
Oh, man, he's so good.
He kills the Twitter game, man.
He does.
He does.
He
That's
does.
why,
He's
like,
hilarious.
He's just the best.
Oh, my God.
The dessert party comment's kind of funny, though.
I'm so pissed. I hate Randy Orton. That's so
I mean,
rude.
Iffy is already...
I hate
super
fat jokes
rude.
for Kevin Owens. I hate fat jokes because it's so stupid. It's so
Aw.
cheap and just like...
Well, and also Iffy's already called out Orton as far
Yes.
as his retweets of known white supremacists.
Yes, yeah. Randy Orton is just a piece of dookie. Yeah. He's a real piece of dookie.
So, sorry, Randy.
Well, thank you for that, guys.
Yeah, right. This is great. So then the other thing that happened on SmackDown was the invasion of Raw. It finally happened. I know. Because it's the
It
last...
took them so long.
Because it's the last opportunity for it to happen. It wouldn't make sense for it to happen after Survivor Series.
Right.
So, yeah, just Raw invaded. That was actually the Shield.
Cameron
which
loves the shirts that the Shield was wearing.
they're half Raw, half
So
Shield
weird.
shirts, which was like a bit like if someone tried to make a Batman TV show in college and that was Two-Face what Two-Face wore. Very weird.
How is a shirt like that made?
That's my question, in all honesty.
Point.
But how does Ed Hardy make his shirts? It's got to be the same way because there's so many colors. So very strange, but at least it made sense because the Shield are going after the New Day.
Yeah.
It made more sense than when SmackDown went after Raw, but you still have the similar thing of like faces and heels going after each other. And
I
you're just
saw,
like,
I saw Finn and Joe beating up Big E together, and I was just like, okay.
That's kind of
Well, you have that, and then you have like Bailey's going after, again, there's like babyface Bailey is going after all the women, but
super babyface Bailey.
Yeah, so it's
She's like, yeah, get him.
and then they super power bombed Shane,
Yes.
and that's where we left. So the big update on the card is now Charlotte versus Alexa.
Thank you.
And mystery
That's
spot.
gonna be awesome.
I think that's going to be great.
awesome.
That's going to be a
Awesome.
great match. But yeah, so that's what happened on Raw and SmackDown, which brings us to Survivor Series. So let's start our predictions.
Ooh, let's start our predictions, baby. Okay, so this one is silly. There's the pre-show match is Enzo and Kalisto, for the title.
I
the
say
cruiserweight.
Enzo.
I want to say Enzo too, but there is rumor that Neville's coming back.
Really?
But if Neville comes back at Survivor Series, it's Kalisto. If he doesn't come back at Survivor Series, it's Enzo for Kalisto to appear on Raw.
You gotta pick
I'm
one.
gonna go
I'm going.
Enzito. I'm
yeah,
gonna pick Enzo.
I'm going Enzo. I'm also
Okay.
going Enzo. I think Neville's going to be on Raw.
Cameron and Janelle. Okay. All right. Miz versus Baron.
Miz.
Miz. I'm gonna go Miz as well. Actually,
Miz too good.
Miz is.
He's been killing it. Baron won his SmackDown match. Miz lost his Raw match.
Yeah.
Opposite momentum going into a pay-per-view.
Okay, Miz.
Yeah.
You like sold it before I could respond.
know.
I'm like, ah.
And so I will also be sending this to Iffy. So we will do this. We'll get all this, and then you guys also hopefully are participating. We have so Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. That would be the Kurt, Braun, Finn, Joe, Triple H versus Shane and John Cena, and
All these good wrestlers.
Yeah, that's gonna. I mean, should be fun. It should be a match full of good spots.
Who's on the SmackDown roster again? Who on that one?
On the SmackDown team, it is Shane, Randy, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke, and John Cena.
I think
I'm going SmackDown.
You're going SmackDown?
I'm going Raw.
Okay, I'm also going Raw.
Okay.
Okay. And then Cameron and Janelle pick
I just
Raw.
had Nakamura, so
I love Nakamura. Cena's the question mark on that one.
Okay.
Because Cena lost his last big match. Are they going to have him lose this one? At the same time, it's elimination style. I think you're going to see... I think they are going to keep it Angle Shane at the end because those were the two big guys.
yeah.
Going into this, that was the feud. And I think because Angle was embarrassed and he's got all the heat on him from Stephanie, I think Angle's going to pull it out.
Also, Shane never wins a pay-per-view lately.
I feel like
Very true.
Yeah, I like Vince doesn't care about Shane. Like sometimes, like as far as his booking, he's gonna let him, take the loss.
Yeah.
Take the L.
Also, the possibility that because Shane did give Sami some beef 2 weeks ago, Sami and Kevin get involved in this match, causing Shane to lose.
Okay, yeah.
Darn it.
Okay, we have the women: Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha, and Bailey versus Team SmackDown, which is Becky, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and Lana, and then the surprise.
This is SmackDown.
This is what we were saying. I would probably also go with SmackDown for this one, just because logic dictates that whoever is the woman that's going to come in is going to be real strong, and they want to make her look good. So that's what I would say. Yeah, SmackDown. So I think we're all even on SmackDown. I'm going to take a chance in the next few ones, and I'm going to go against you guys because I'm going to gamble.
Okay.
All right. Karen and Janelle. Okay, so we have Raw, the Raw tag team versus the SmackDown tag team, which would be so Raw. This is Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Usos.
Usos.
Sadly,
Usos?
I think Cesaro is going to lose. I want him to win.
I know.
I
so
love,
hard, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I love Cesaro. I love. I think they're a great tag team.
So good. Together.
But they have nothing to lose by losing that match. And the Usos having great matches with New Day, that's kind of all they've had lately. And so I think they have more to gain from winning.
Right.
So storytelling mentally dictates.
So Cameron says Usos.
Yeah.
Usos. I say Usos.
Okay, you say Usos. I'm going to pick
Sadly.
Cesaro
wanna
and
pick Cesaro,
Sheamus. Okay. All right. We have this would be the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus WWE Champion AJ Styles.
Brock Lesnar.
You going to go Brock?
I would
This is going to be a great match.
amazed.
I feel like Brock's going to
This is the match
try.
I'm excited for this and
Yes.
Charlotte, Alexa.
Yes.
I think it's going to be Brock. I think they're keeping Brock completely loss-free until WrestleMania. I think it's going to look like AJ could pull it out, but I think it's going to be Brock.
How long do you think the match is going to be?
I'm hoping it's a good like Brock Lesnar does not do half-hour matches. I mean WrestleMania 30 excluded it, but I'm hoping this is a good lengthy match. I think also Jinder Mahal is going to get involved to make AJ lose, so that I don't think it's going to be a super clean
Gail de Mahal.
win from Brock. I think Brock is going to win. I think it's going to be schmozzy with Jinder because they want to keep the Jinder AJ feud going.
Yep.
I think it's going to be Brock.
Brock? Okay. I'm going to go AJ, baby. Janelle says
them gambles.
AJ. Them gambles, baby. I take chances.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah. What about you?
Brock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brock. All right. Gary says Brock. Okay. The Shield versus the New Day.
Shield. We did not get
Woohoo.
we didn't
has
get the
to be
Shield
the
match.
Shield.
Ooh.
We didn't get the Shield match we wanted at TLC exactly. We got a different one, but we didn't get that match.
And it's not like the New Day's going to feel buried if they lose.
Granted, at the same time, Shield did win their match on Raw. Shield also just dominated the New Day at SmackDown. So I could see New Day pulling it out.
But how would
No.
so how, you
I'm like, no.
So this is babyface versus babyface
For each of their brands, yeah.
for each of their brands. But who do you think is going to work heel this match? I feel like
I
the
think
Shield,
New Day because New Day
they led the charge.
they led the charge on the SmackDown invasion.
Meaning that
to
they would,
Raw.
yeah, that they're working heel. That was the whole plan. So that would mean, okay, all right. I'm gonna gamble.
Well, also let's also look at the card right now. Where's the wins losses of Raw SmackDown where we're at the moment?
Okay, so we have right now Let's see.
Not counting Enzo Kalisto.
Not counting. So we would have so Kurt and Braun. That's what we picked for Raw. So we're saying Raw's going to go over. Okay. So for the women, we have SmackDown going over. So for this, the Usos are going over. So that would be SmackDown.
SmackDown.
And then Miz is going over. So that would be Raw. So that's even.
And then Brock.
And then Brock is Brock is Raw.
Okay.
And then AJ would be AJ's not going to go over.
And then we have the.
So we have more.
I'm going
more Raw.
I'm going Shield.
You're going Shield?
I'm going Shield.
I'm going Shield.
I'm going New Day, baby. Karen and Carrie.
I'm going Shield.
All right, we have the Raw Women's.
This one's hard.
This is the Raw Women's. This is the champion. This is Alexa versus versus Charlotte.
I want to see them both win. That's
so this is non-title. Non-title, but it's going to be a dank match.
I think Ric Flair showing up at SmackDown, the 30 for 30, all these things. I think it's Charlotte. They're going to want to send the whole group. They're going to want Charlotte to win, and then Carmella's going to cash in.
Charlotte versus so.
Do you think Carmella cashing in? Do you think she will?
The cash in is its own prediction, by the way.
I think the cash in is its own prediction. So I think Charlotte's going over. Even if the cash in doesn't happen, Charlotte goes over.
Okay.
Charlotte goes over. So that's what you're picking. And Alexa.
It's hard.
Yeah, she's the baby face. I'm going to actually pick Charlotte for this as well.
I'm going to go Charlotte as well.
Okay, so we're all picking. Okay, Karen, Yari.
Well, because Alexa's so good, and she's the kind of heel where it's not going to hurt her to lose.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially to Charlotte.
We all say yes to the cash-in?
I think the cash-in. It's Survivor Series. It's one of the big four. They want a big moment. There's no big surprise moment yet, unless Paige counts as one. There's no big shock moment.
Was that 2 years ago, or was it 1 year ago when Roman got cashed in by Sheamus?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
How big do you think the pop is going to be if she cashes in, though?
I don't know. It also depends on where it's at on the card.
It's going to be good heat. It's going to be good heat for her.
Especially if Ellsworth.
I think it's going to benefit her. Yeah.
Ellsworth comes through the crowd.
Yeah,
that's true. The Ellsworth thing makes me.
It is weird that they would let him go right before, quote unquote, let him go. Right before this.
I think the cash-in is going to happen.
And he's old school too. Like he likes to work everybody as well.
Because it is one of the big four. It's the most interesting one of the big four too. Because Royal Rumble is where the year kind of resets because they're setting everything up for WrestleMania. So not super crazy things can happen in Survivor Series, but just enough to set up the Rumble. And I think Carmella cashing in and Charlotte chasing it up to the Rumble, and then Charlotte winning at the Rumble with the fireworks. I think it's going to be a big moment. I think Carmella cashes in and wins.
Okay. I think, the cash-in, so I say yes. I think the cash-in.
So you think Carmella
do you think she's going to win?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Because I say she's going to cash in. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, because they really want to, if they really want to get heat on her, that would be the way to do it. Yeah. Okay, so that finalizes that. All right, so that's in. We'll get Iffy's predictions. So make sure, thank you to Pete for putting that together for us, by the way. So make sure you get your fantasy predictions in. We are also going to be doing TakeOver, so I'm going to go through the TakeOver card. And so this is going to be fun. All right, because we not all of us are up to date with what's going on in NXT. But it should be a good card, TakeOver. So we have Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano, which is going to be a good match. Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano.
I'm going Dunne.
All right, this is for the United Kingdom Championship. So you're going to go Dunne. So me too. Okay, so what about you, Kara?
Done.
Okay, all right, so we all pick that. Authors of Pain and Roddy versus Sanity versus the Undisputed Era, which is Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly.
Cole.
That's what I say too. The Undisputed Era.
Okay, O'Reilly.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. All right. So we all pick that. We might be even with that. Ember Moon versus Kairi Sane and versus Nikki versus Peyton. So you're gonna pick your Pirate Princess?
I gotta go with Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
Same. They want to make her look good, make her look hot.
Yeah.
Versus I'm gonna go Peyton. Peyton. Okay, so you guys can
traitor. No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I know. I love the Pirate Princess, but all right. So Drew McIntyre versus Andrade Almas.
McIntyre.
Yeah, that's probably. I'm gonna go Almas just because.
Throw.
Look at you. You really want to eat that pepper.
I'm ready. All right, Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. We all know who. Yeah, Aleister Black.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm gonna go with that too. Jay. All right, and then Cassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan. I haven't seen too much of this storyline at all.
I would say Ohno though.
Yeah, you're gonna say
Ohno's.
Chris Hero?
Yeah.
I'm going Chris Hero.
Chris Hero.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that just because I haven't seen enough of the feud. So that's it. So we pretty much, you guys are even with this card. Just a couple of variants for me. All right, so that'll be fun. So we'll get that in there as well. So we have 2 cards, and remember that person who wins in conjunction with the last pay-per-view as well will get a pretty sweet art package that we'll
And it'll be my first time watching a pay-per-view with you guys. So go on the Discord so I can kind of have fun.
Yes. Yeah. Please do go on the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, there is also another card happening for Ring of Honor. Just for everyone, if you guys want to see it, it should be happening in a couple of days. It will be Dalton Castle will be because he's got a feud going on with the Bullet Club right now. So Dalton is actually facing who's he facing? Marty Scurll and Cody and Kenny are facing, who was it? The Addiction. But yeah, Christopher Daniels. So that'll be fun. That'll be a good match.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So make sure you guys watch that.
Kind of off topic. Did you guys hear Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes are going to be on WAGs?
On what?
WAGs? Like that reality show?
Yeah.
Oh.
I hadn't heard that. I was like, sounds familiar, but yeah.
Anyway.
That's cool.
Kelly Kelly's on it. You know.
Because ultimately they're working towards this Dalton Castle versus Cody match.
Well,
for the
then
championship.
just got announced about Cody's going to be in a Texas death match.
Ooh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah,
We
let
gotta
me
keep up.
see.
We have our Bullet Club segment of the show. That's gonna be really neat.
Yeah.
Texas death match. Wait, what is
at
the
Wrestle Kingdom 12?
What it? Oh.
So Texas death match. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to get this wrong. So let me make sure I find the exact.
Yeah, please tell me.
Texas death match.
You guys just come with me to Japan.
Texas death match, wrestling match,
similar.
similar to the last man standing match. The only difference being that you must be pinned, then a 10 count is initiated. If the person pinned fails to get up by the count of 10, the participant loses the match.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So it's not unlike, it's a last man standing match.
Okay. Who's he gonna be against?
Let's see.
Is it Okada?
That would be amazing.
What is this Okada versus Finn Balor thing that I'm looking at? This is old.
that's
Is
old
this
school.
just an old thing?
Okay.
Oh yeah, see,
We'll
Cody
take
and Kenny
on
versus
Christopher
Addiction.
Daniels in a Texas Death so Christopher Daniels.
Oh, that's right, because this thing that's happening too is actually a 2-night event. There's night 1 that's happening. This is okay. So this is the card: Jay Lethal versus Punishment Martinez. Okay, and then what's the main event for night 2? Night 2? Oh, it's 3 nights. Okay, we have
Cody versus Christopher Daniels, Texas Death Match.
that's okay. So that's gonna be cool. Yeah. So Christopher Daniels, this storyline is pretty cool because he just had the belt recently, and he's just that was my honeymoon. But this whole Addiction versus the Bullet Club is bueno.
Loving it.
Yep.
So let's talk some Bellas. Let's talk some Total Divas. Episode 2 was last week. We got to see the fallout of Money in the Bank, which is well, you want to talk about this?
Well, I mean, after I saw how excited they were about having the very first Money in the Bank, and Ellsworth took it from them, it made me so upset.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we also had the storyline that Natty is scared of heights.
Yeah, that's right.
That was just such B to the
I'm
S.
glad it only lasted that one episode though, and then
I know it lasted one episode.
And
I
then,
like the storyline of them babysitting. It was cute.
Oh yeah, the babysitting storyline where then Natty starts crying because she's like, maybe I'm not a mother.
but then just previously, she was talking about how she doesn't. She's more of a cat lady.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
Like, what do you
She's
want,
her and TJ.
woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Cat people.
pretty insane. And then you also had the other big thing was that Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss go shopping.
Oh yeah.
With Maurice
in Tokyo.
Yeah.
in Tokyo. Yep.
I think
That was neat. Oh, I'm glad that they actually did get through. Through that storyline, they talked about Alexa having her eating disorder
Bulimia.
previously,
Yeah.
or
That's
anorexia.
been making news.
Oh yes, anorexia.
So this is very important because I'm glad because I'm sure that's why she did the show. Part of the reason is to spread awareness because that is a big deal. So that was a nice touch that they actually were able to touch on that. That was good. I didn't know Lillian Garcia has a podcast. Apparently.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
On AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I want to go listen to that Alexa episode in full. And I guess Carmella got introduced as like a cast member, but honestly, I think she just got lunch.
Yeah, it was
and she
very-
just talked about
And
how
I love Carmella. I love her. I love her body.
Former Laker girl.
former Laker girl.
So I definitely want to see more of her because she's got like that attitude, charisma.
It was so interesting that like she got introduced and she was like, and I'm dating WWE superstar Big Cass, and no Big Cass on the show.
No,
Like,
yeah,
just
and,
clips of him
it
in
was
the ring.
better
Yeah,
that
right.
way because I really don't
Maybe
care for him as
maybe
a,
in the
person.
future though he's gonna jump in on
Maybe.
He'll talk about how
But,
he loves Trump.
They're separated anyway because separated as far as the brands because she's on SmackDown, he's on Raw.
I did.
mentioned that.
I did think about that too, though. If like Cass is on TV, I was like, oh.
I like him.
No, not that I think he's going to be able to talk about his politics on WWE, on Total Divas, but at the same time, I'm like,
I would be entertained to see like a side of Cass that talks.
Yeah.
Enzo, because it would have been more entertaining back during the Enzo days because they did some NXT stuff. I remember during that NXT documentary, Enzo on there was really funny with Cass because he would talk about how Cass pees all over the when he gets up in the morning to pee. It's like a horse and it's all over the bathroom and so it was pretty. But it was the Enzo voice telling the story, so it was pretty good. I liked that. So 2 episodes in so far for Total Divas.
But do you guys believe? I don't because I didn't finish the second episode because I passed out. But do you guys believe in the Nia and Maurice situation in the first episode? Because I was floored. Like, why was Maurice tripping balls so hard?
Well, because I can see that was actually a legitimate argument because for me, I compared it because I was watching it with Andy and I was like, Andy, it's like me in games because right now for me, because as a female gamer, there's a lot like I am not given a lot of opportunities to male that and I feel and so I feel in a few years that the doors will open just as they have because in Korea it's a lot more acceptable. But so I feel in a few years there's gonna be a lot of doors open for female gamers and I'm gonna be the person that's like where I didn't have the opportunities then.
I mean, I think the thing with female
because Maurice didn't have opportunities to tell a story. She was out there for 2-minute matches and nothing.
No, I bought the believability of that. It's more it's that reality show manufacturing thing of like
exaggerated.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't even think
of course,
Nia meant it in that way.
No, she
is the thing.
I also still stand by. I'm talking with Daniel Radford about this. I still stand by that. I love Nia. But people who do have a problem that her voice doesn't match her character,
actually, I think it's great.
This show is gonna just tenfold that because it is like it is such a, and I love Nia. It is such a Valley Girl voice. It really would be like, considering her character is supposed to be this destroyer. It'd be like if Braun talked like this.
Braun talk like a baby.
Voice like this. You'd be like, this doesn't work. Don't let him talk.
It's kind of like stage left David Beckham.
Yeah, exactly. if that's how Braun talked, you'd be like, don't give him the mic. Don't give him the mic. That's the thing about like, and I do love Nia, but the voice is like, you're getting very loud right now. You need to back away from my face. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'm enjoying this.
Bliss and Nia together.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I couldn't believe they're like BFFs. Like,
my favorite cast member is Birdie though. That baby's so
that baby.
freaking adorable. I like that they're using her for the story, and I'm surprised that Daniel like is actually okay with it. He's like whatever, he whatever makes Brie happy. But yeah, she's there, and Lana apparently was told that she wasn't going to have the opportunity to wrestle anymore. But obviously we saw in the Ellsworth that's not the case because she stunned him as well. That's a good storyline though. It's a good little. I like the way that the season is progressing.
Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good. Good job, Total Divas.
So we'll be back next week with episode 3 of Total Divas. Y'all, but yeah, make sure you go in the Discord, talk to us on Sunday, make your predictions.
Yeah, and we'll be in there. I'm going to be there all day Sunday.
Oh yeah, we'll be in there. We'll be talking about this. I don't know if we'll be there for NXT. That's the night before.
Yeah,
we got Hyperdrive this week, so
that's
we'll be in and out probably with that.
Yeah, the conversation will be going because everyone's it moves pretty well. Thank you guys for participating because that's it warms my little cold heart.
Yeah, it's great. Janelle, anything you want to plug? Anything people can find you?
Just follow me on Janelle Santa Cruz on any of the social medias. Playing competitive Overwatch on Twitch. Follow me there.
Yeah, all right.
And hopping off of that, take female gamers seriously.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah.
It's like the moment you're a female gamer, they're like, are you really?
Yeah, it's like
Anyway, so yes, you can follow me at you're very welcome. KAORIOUS on all that social media. Yep.
As for me, you can find me at Twitter.com/Jurassic Alien. Stuff going on here, right for the Power Rangers RPG. Hyperdrive, by the time this is out, the Hyperdrive should be coming up. So check that out. We got a lot of cool stuff going on that. I'm going to be part of the Wet Hot American Summer RPG that we're doing that evening. I think that's
I'm going to be doing the DuckTales one for the DuckTales RPG on Saturday. That'll be fun.
Perfect. All right, guys, so go watch wrestling.
Yeah, baby!